Welcome to the To Your Success podcast, hosted by Krista Johnson and Ellen Solheim. Each bi-weekly episode takes a deep dive into how success and freedom is created and how you can start living the life you truly want now. Krista was top CEO of international companies for more than 20 years. He's done business in most parts of the world. Now he is an international success mentor, helping people and organizations to be successful. Ellen and Krista are partners in life and business. They truly live what they teach every day. They sail their beautiful 43-footer around the world while helping clients all over the world. They are proof that you can get all the freedom you've ever wanted. They truly live what they teach every single day.
Warm welcome everyone to Your Success podcast. I am Krista Johnson, and with me today, my wife and partner.
I'm Ellen Solheim. Happy to be here today.
And so am I. And thank you for listening. And thank you to all listeners. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. Every second Tuesday, we will post a new episode about how you can create your success. So Ellen, tell me a little bit about where we are today.
Well, today we are really somewhere out of our comfort zone. More for me than for you, actually, I think. We are in Malaysia. We are in me and my ex-husband's house on a small island in Malaysia. Today we are practicing subjective control, I think. We have firecrackers outside, we have dogs barking, we have rain, we have sun, we have everything.
And we have crying Chinese kids in the neighbor house.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And the reason why it is like this is because your house, and we have been several times before, and you have been here many, many times before. The difference is actually that we are working and running our mentoring business from here now. And the reason why it's a lot of things happening is because it's Deepavali and we live in the middle of the locals. So we are part of the local community, which for us is great fun. And we enjoy several parts of Malaysia, I think we can say. We every time we go to Malaysia, we stay some days when we come and when we leave in Kuala Lumpur, which is one of our absolutely favorite towns.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's just a wonderful, wonderful town. And it's really a mix of cultures. And as you said, we're going to talk about the comfort zone today. And we're also going to talk about this model that we use in all our mentoring for personal growth. And, well, let me go. I'll tell a story about my life. This place, 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, we almost forgot that.
Almost forgot. But it's always with me in my gratitude. And I'm very, very thankful for that. 2.5 years ago, 1 week before we should get married, I had a call with my mentor. And he said, Krista, you don't have a goal, you have a wish. Maybe you have a dream. But, until you really start acting on what you say it's your goal, you don't have a goal. And then I said, so you say that to really do what I want to do and reach my goal, I have to change a lot and I have to leave the corporate world? And he said, yes. And this was 1 week before Ellen and I got married. And I said to Ellen, well, and this is me as a choleric, that I'm a good decision maker. I'm going to leave the corporate world. I'm going to resign from my job. And I was so scared. I was shitty scared. I was shaking. And I was so afraid that Ellen had to sit next to me and hold my hand when I sent my resignation. But that is actually the best thing I have ever done, because I was so stuck in the comfort zone. And why was I stuck in the comfort zone? I was afraid of losing what I had. I was afraid of what others would say. I was just afraid. I was shitty scared.
And imagine how much you got on the other side of that comfort zone, that fear zone, yes.
And doing that is the best thing I ever done. So what is the comfort zone? Well, there are 4 stages in this model. You have the comfort zone, you have the fear zone, you have the learning zone, and then you have the growth zone. So let's talk about the comfort zone. Hamster wheel. Stressed out life, lack of freedom. You're on autopilot.
Can you tell about this hamster wheel picture that you carried along for many years?
That I now sent to some of my clients. I can tell about that. So I started being sick and tired of being sick and tired many years ago. It is actually 20 years ago, I think. I was CEO of this wonderful international company. We were really running fast because we had high goals. And we were fully committed to them. I was in London with my team, and we were doing an acquisition. And on the way down the stairs to a subway after one hour long meetings, I saw this picture, and it was an ad, it was a poster. I think it was The Guardian, a poster for the newspaper The Guardian, which just had this big picture of a hamster wheel made of gold with diamonds. As a CEO of an international company, I did a lot of money. I had a really good salary, high bonus, all that. And that was exactly how I felt. I felt exactly like that. Being in a hamster wheel of gold, full of diamonds, just running, doing what I thought others expected from me. Not living my freedom, but living what many people call a dream career. I had the dream career. I was 35, 36 years old. I was running this big international company, but I was not happy. I was just stuck, and I wanted something else, something more. So that is a really good description of how I felt in the comfort zone. And I know many of you feel the same way, and then you wonder, but I don't know how I can get out of that. And
it's kind of strange, actually, to call it the comfort zone, because it's not comfortable being there.
Well,
is it?
You feel safe and secure, and you are in control.
So it's the absence of fear that makes you feel comfortable.
Yeah, because they don't understand the meaning and the true meaning of fear, right? Mm-hmm. Because fear is actually really good. Fear is the feeling when you start moving, and you have to embrace that. So, and that transitions us to the fear zone, which is the next. So you run around in the hamster wheel in the comfort zone, and then you start to move, and you want to change. Mm-hmm. And what most people do, they stop. Just go to the gym in January,
I've been there too.
You've been there too, and you stopped. Yeah, me too. And then, but it's packed with people in January, and then in February it's like in November again, right? Because and what has happened is that they started out, they say, "Oh, I want to change," and then they started, and then they felt that, this is not me. I have to prioritize this. Mm-hmm. I have to have the discipline to go there.
Uncomfortable, actually.
Yeah, and then you start to find excuses. You be affected by others' opinion. Oh, so you shall prioritize that instead of being with me now. Mm-hmm. And
that's why I never exercise. I want to stay with you.
Yeah, right. I don't believe that. And you get a lack of self-confidence. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how. The trick with this is that how is the wrong question. Never ask how. If you had known how to become a better version of you, you had already done it, right? It is about what can I do today and who can I become? That is the question. So what happens is that when you move from the comfort zone into the fear zone, the old you, all the old habits you have, all the old programs, and 95% of our days is programmed. We run on autopilot. And then the autopilot holds us back. We know that from sailing, when we say try to steer against autopilot, it's not possible. You have to turn off the liberty, turn off the autopilot. And that's a good analogy. Mm-hmm. Because the old you, who you used to be in the comfort zone, will battle you. It's a royal battle, where all the excuses come up, all the fears, all the programs, and procrastination, Now it's not so important.
But this happens to everybody. Even successful people experience this all the time.
We experience it all the time. It's just that we see it differently. We don't start, stop. We know that when we procrastinate or when we are afraid, like I was when I left the corporate world, I gave up my whole identity. My identity was that I was this successful CEO. I had the front pages of newspapers and all that. And I just had to give it up. And I realized I was so afraid that I had to do it. And every time I'm afraid of something,
you have to do it.
I have to do it right away. It's an order to myself, because I know that when I'm afraid of something, the person I really want to be and the person you really want to be is on the other side of that fear zone. So we push through the fear zone. We manage our thinking. And this is important. Your mindset has to be stronger than your feelings, right? So you have to manage your feelings. How do you do that? You think about your goal. You understand that when you procrastinate, I can just wait 5 minutes, or maybe tomorrow. Then that's an order to yourself that, no, sorry, old ego, Christer 1.0, no, you're dead. I want to go on. I want to move on. I want to move on. And then you move into the learning zone. And that's the fun part, right?
Yes, it is. Tell more about it.
Yeah. Well, first of all, what happens is that you extend your comfort zone. Because you get new skills. You acquire new skills. I mean, we didn't know how to do this a few months ago. No. Now we are out of the comfort zone, not because we are recording a podcast, but because the environment is different. But then we know that, and we have promised you that we're going to share parts of our lives and that we live the life we truly want. So we have to extend our comfort zone, and then we grow.
And I think actually the dogs and everything, it's quite now firecrackers.
Oh, we have firecrackers, yes. But Deepavali.
Deepavali.
Yes. And like midnight yesterday, it was like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. And
New Year's Eve.
we have to figure out what's going on. Yeah. Obviously, it's fun.
There's a party somewhere.
You deal with challenges and problems as well. You deal with them. You say, this is interesting. How can I fix this? What can I do? What can I do today to make this work? That is what you do. So you extend your comfort zone. I often say that you become a better version of yourself. You move up, you move up, you move up. And it's not resistance free. To grow is like we go up and a little bit down. We go up, a little bit down. And we meet that resistance because every time we upgrade, we say, that's interesting. I have to acquire new skills. I study every day, and now I study marketing, actually. I mean, I have a degree in marketing from the university, but I realized that marketing has changed so much. I need to understand it in a better way so we can reach more people. So I study, I acquire new skills. That was out of my comfort zone. I was running around in my comfort zone thinking that I knew enough about marketing, but I don't. So I have to extend that.
So after the learning zone, after being there, what happens next?
You grow. You grow. You get into the growth zone. And the growth zone is where you conquer objectives, you reach your goals, you live your dreams, and you find your purpose. Why do I want this? And why is important? Why do you want to change? I wanted to change because I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. It was so painful being in the comfort zone. I knew it, and I write about that in my book too. When we met, I was ready to sail around the world. I was so eager. I had the boat, I had everything. I was ready to go yesterday. And then we had to wait because your youngest son, he was still in the nest, and he needed to get out of the house, and it felt like being a tiger in a cage. I had so much energy. I had so much urgency, like a really sense of urgency inside me. I want to go out. I want to sail around the world. And luckily that didn't happen because we ended up here instead. Instead of leaving everything behind, sailing around the world, we ended up running this international mentoring company, helping people all over the world. So there was a meaning with that too.
There's always a meaning.
And when you look backwards, you see the meaning.
Connect the dots.
Yeah, you have to look backwards to connect the dots. And some of you have to trust that the dots will connect in the future. Steve Jobs said that. And it's important. You just have to trust. You just have to trust yourself. You just have to trust that you can do it. And then you just move on, move on, move on, move on. And if I hadn't reached out to my mentor, and if I hadn't had Bob Proctor as my first mentor just for a few months, and then reach out to the mentor I still have today, we wouldn't be here. I mean, we would be here, but not this way. So it's all about getting out of the comfort zone, realizing that fear, worry, doubt, and fear is a part of the process. We embrace it, we grab it, we take it, we look at it and say, wow, this is interesting. I'm afraid of it. Well, then I have to do it. And sometimes I'm afraid of the strangest things. Like having a morning bath in the Mediterranean is like, oh, maybe I can, I procrastinate and then boom, I just have to dive in.
It's not dangerous, it's not anything.
It's just mental, right? It's just mental.
But it's always mental. It's all about
that. And then we just train ourselves. We get more and more aware of our feelings, and we don't let the feelings outperform the mindset.
And this personal growth it's I think often many people think that you start one place and you develop and then you are finished growing, but it's not like that. You have all these levels, all these different areas of your life that you have to go through this on all the areas, and it can be a bit overwhelming sometimes, but it's like you have to do it on the personal level, you have to do it in work level, all over. So it's not, you are never finished with this. No, you will always continue growing.
Yeah, but that goes back to us as humans. You know, what is the purpose of life? The purpose of life is its livingness. The purpose of life is to live life, right? And how do we live life? In contrasts between what we like and what we don't like. We try not to want something. It's impossible. I want a cup of coffee. I want to relax. I want to be in the comfort zone. Like, it's not possible, you know, because we fire, what Abraham Hicks say, we fire these rockets of desire all the time. It's like, oh, that would be cool.
I love that picture.
It's a rocket. It's like, oh, there it is. And then the universe conspires for you to get it if you do it the right way. You know, what a lot of people say is that, oh, I want that, but I cannot have that because I don't know how. But that is the wrong question. You just have to start moving, get out of the comfort zone, into the fear zone, realize that fear, worry, doubt, and fear is a part of this process. Stretching is a part of it. And then you go into the learning zone, and then it gets fun because then you catch it, right?
And it's so good.
But sometimes, and I must be honest about that, sometimes I wish I was not afraid for something because it would be really nice not to do it.
Yeah, and I know every time you're afraid of something, I know a change is about to happen. So it affects everybody around you when you change as well, and that's can also be a different side of this.
And we are going through a big change now in our work life, where because I as a cleric, I always want more and more and more. And first of all, I want to help more people. I mean, one of my goals is to help millions of people all around the world every day living their full life because it's so good. And that is my motivation. My motivation is to help you. You know, that is why we make this podcast too, because it's fun and we show that it's possible and we share our ups and downs. And then the last days, we have worked really hard. And we have worked a lot, and we have slept bad, and it's like, okay, up at night and work as well. And then I know that when my frustration is that big, we are so close to a change, to a big positive change. And, you know, all change is hard at the beginning, it's messy in the middle, and it's great at the end. Yeah. But we are in the messy part in the middle right now. Yes. Yeah, because we realized our marketing didn't work, so we had to change everything, and then I had to be patient, which I'm really good at.
No, you're not. You can believe it, but
no, I'm not patient at all. I'm very impatient. I want everything to happen now because in my mind it's just to do it.
Not now, yesterday.
2 days ago.
Yeah.
And then when we have to wait for an agency to do the changes on our website and we have to create new videos and all that, well, then I get frustrated, and then I have to control that frustration and see that as a part of the fear zone. Because, you know, as you grow, I often say that you upgrade like an app or a software. You upgrade from your version 1.0, that is all you, to 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. And every time we upgrade from the version we are today to a new version, we are through this. We are in the comfort zone because we have extended our comfort zone. We are in a comfort zone on a higher level, higher awareness, different knowledge, different skill set, different thinking, feeling better. And that is maybe the most important thing about this, is that when you grow, you feel so much better. And every time we upgrade, we have to go through this. And that is why I said up, a little bit down, and then we have the resistance, and then we have to move again. Because then not being happy, not being satisfied. And we talked about that, I think that was in the second, when we talked about success. And you asked me, what is success for you, Christer? I said, well, I'm never happy. It's not that I'm never happy. That's not true. I'm very, very happy. But I'm never satisfied. I can be content, meaning that I'm happy with what I have, but I'm extremely eager for more all the time.
You always have a new goal after that.
And that can be frustrating for my surroundings.
Yeah, it can be, but you are good at reaching your goals. So it's quite fun.
I remember Dad actually told me that. I showed him a picture of something I want. It's a beautiful boat. And he said, have you got it yet? I said, no. Well, you will, because you are really good at getting what you want. and he said that. I mean, that was a year ago, when at the end of his life. And I guess I am.
Yes, you are.
But in my mind, I'm not, because I'm always eager for more.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
So the purpose of this was to tell you about this model, that is absolutely natural to be in the comfort zone. And then a lot of people like us and many others, they feel stuck. They want something more. What if this is as good as it gets? A good movie we saw, but what if this is all there is? Trust me, it's not. Life is so much more. Life is so much more, and you can have anything you want. You just have to push through the fear zone, do things you haven't done before, and then act. And we often say, think and act like the person you want to be. Think and act like you in your goal. How do you do that? You use your imagination. You see yourself in your goal. You make an ideal of who you want to be, and then you start acting today. Your actions, they don't have to be perfect, but your intention, your will and intent has to be perfect, and then you will grow. Step by step by step by step, you become a better version of yourself. And it's so fun.
It is.
And sometimes it's frustrating, but that's a part of the game.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
That's true too.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it for today, I think.
That's it for today. So from Malaysia, no barking dogs, no crying Chinese kids in the neighbor's house.
A couple of firecrackers, that's all.
That's all.
Yeah.
So, and it worked out?
It worked out.
Okay.
I hope you enjoyed it too.
Yeah. So see you or hear you next Tuesday. Well, in 2 weeks, actually. Every second Tuesday, we're going to publish this podcast. Make sure that you subscribe and, push the like button. Give us ratings. Share with others. Because this, for us, this is all about helping you so that you can reach your success. So to your success. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of To Your Success podcast. Please leave us a rating and review on your favorite podcast platform. For more information on how Christer's mentoring programs can help you in your own life, visit christerjohnson.com.